Hello there Reason people, PoohBear here and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be creating ourselves a special effect. So what we're going to need for this recipe is a CVA-7. We're also going to need ourselves a little, got it there, a little LFO, and then we're going to need ourselves a VCO, we're going to need a VCA, we're going to need an ADSR, we're going to need a merge splitter, and we're going to need a Hamu mod panel so we can get our data in. So if we whiz round to the back, got a little bit of auto wiring going on there, and let's actually start to get this wired up. We don't need that either, so that's going to get rid of that. So first things first, I'm going to do the audio side. So I'm going to use a sine wave, which is going to go into my VCA. From my VCA, I'm going to go into my mix channel. So that's all nice and straightforward. Next, let's wire up the next bit, where we're going to take the gate information and put that into my splitter. I'm going to split that out and put that into my ADSR. From my ADSR, I'm going to go into my gain. I'm also going to take a split and put it into the LFO, because I'm going to sync the LFO on that, so every time I hit a new key, we can restart the LFO. I'll tell you what else I do need is a A&B switch. Yeah, let's have an A&B switch there. So we can make this velocity sensitive. So I'm going to take the gate information out again and put it into A. We're going to leave the B input because this is going to be like my sample and hold device. We're going to take that output and put it in the linear in on the VCA, and then we need to be able to control it. So we're going to use the inverted of the gate to control the switch, if you remember quite rightly, to get it to go to A. When I hit a note, obviously that's a positive value, but we're going to invert it so it's negative. So when it's negative, A will be selected, and then when it's 0 and above, B will be selected, and that'll be our sample and hold. At the moment, you may have noticed that we haven't used any note data. That's because we're going to be taking our note data from little LFO, and I'm actually going to be putting it into the pitch. I'm also going to, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to say show programmer. I'm also going to take the same LFO out, and I'm going to control my pan with it. So yeah, and I'm not going to wire up the CV8X4 just yet. I will talk about that in a moment because that's a little special case. So what we now need to do is to get things all set up on the front end. The shape I'm going to go for here is a down ramp. I'm going to have it slightly, so this is to actually do with how big a LFO, so how low and high that frequency is going. I'm going to have this on free. I don't know where I'm going to have it around about there, I suppose, to start with, and we can change that. I wanted it to have it on the sync, so every time I hit a key, it's going to come down. We're going to see it working. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to put in here. I'm going to put a CVA-7 as well. It's not needed, but I've decided that if I just pump this into here, we can actually see this signal. We can see exactly what's going on. So let's put that into the pitch for the moment. And we can actually see our signal going, because that makes me feel happy. On this one, I'm actually going to have it up a couple of octaves, but not too far up, because now we're going to be using the LFO to control the sound. It's not going to really matter what key I hit, because the LFO is actually doing the pitch of the sound, so we need to sort of set the pitch up. So hence I'm going to be setting that around about there. I can turn it on now actually, because I'm not going to hit any keys, so it doesn't sound nice and loud. And in fact, no, I will leave that there for the moment. And in fact, I think I'll probably take the volume level down here on my VCA. Need to set up our ADSR, and that's probably about right. So yeah, we're looking quite good up here on the front end for what I want to do. And let's just make sure this has got the MIDI focus. and we should be able to hit a key on the keyboard. And there we go, we've got something going on. And as I say, what we can use this for, this will affect obviously the fall. I want it slightly slower. Yeah, sounding quite good. So it's sweeping, obviously, because we've got the pan stuff going on, and that's what that's going to be doing. But what I want to do is, I'd use these knobs here because I've obviously dialed these in a little bit. What I'm going to do with the CVA-X4 is, because I want to move this dial and this dial actually at the same time, but I want to move them quite wildly. But I never want my frequency, say, to go below this amount. And I never want my frequency to say to go above that amount. But if I'm waving this about quite madly, as you can see, I did dip below the mark I wanted to, and I could easily go over the mark as well. But there's a nice way around we can actually do that. And that is obviously by using another knob and limiting the range. And that is what we're going to do now. I'm going to take a feed out of the CVA, the CV8, and put that into the amp, and I'm going to take another feed out of it, and I'm going to put that into the frequency. So one knob's going to control two things. And now we've got our trim knobs on the back. I don't want the frequency to go as high, so I'm going to bring this trim down. And the same with the amp. I don't want the full amount of the amp, so I'm going to bring that right down. So now, when I use this knob and I push it up, it's going to push the frequency up, but it's never going to go to the full amount, and it's going to be the same with the amp. The amp's never going to go up. But I can willy-nilly now push this around, and you can see what's happening. So here's our full signal. The signal's actually going a lot higher and lower, so it's virtually hitting the full volt and to the minus volt. And when we bring it down, as you can see, we're not quite getting as high. The last thing I'm going to do is, I've actually got myself a couple of effects set up. I've got myself an echo, and I've got myself a reverb, which we're going to add to this. And we're going to have our last little bit of fun. I've got myself another mini modular set up here, and that's what I'm going to be using for just a little bit of a bassy sort of sound. This one is a bit more leady. And the final one we've got over here is strings. So as I say, this is just for a little bit of fun. So yeah, so let's just play out and have a listen to what's going on here. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.